Tony, it's the only way they can keep me cold here, freezing my screen up. But appreciate the patience, brother. Good to be with you again today. Sorry about missing yesterday, but hopefully I'll get through this segment just fine, and we could talk about a pretty good game tonight in the NHL.
Oh, yes, it is. It's a featured game on ESPN. Yes, ESPN covers hockey. They did a good job with it tonight here, 8 Eastern time. Penguins here hosting the Bruins. Penguins minus 125, total 6.5.
Yeah, right. We missed you, ESPN, for a few years, but we're back. It kind of takes you back to the old days when every game was Hartford. Hartford and somebody would be the ESPN games. Hopefully, I'll just try to rush through this, Tony. Hopefully, you're getting me here. I know I'm experiencing a little bit of freeze and delay, so man, hopefully you can hear me, Tony, as we get
Yes.
going. Yeah, with Boston and Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh tonight. Tony, hopefully I'm coming with you. Uh, Boston red hot, obviously, coming in with that 8-1 record. Wow, they've been just terrific so far, outscoring opponents 12-2 in the last three games. Pittsburgh actually comes in on a losing streak, of course, but they have fared pretty well at home, 3-0. So they're back at home for this one tonight, and maybe they can turn the fortunes around after having a tough road trip where they lost four straight, all on the road, mind you. Are the Penguins getting too old at this point? That's what you got to wonder. But I think they're the type of team that when they get back at home, especially in a big game like this, they can just come through with a big effort. When you got Crosby and Malkin, you know, Crosby has no points in his last three games. I mean, that never happened. So I think he can come through tonight. It will be Linus Ullmark for Boston. Wow, he's been a pleasant surprise so far, Tony, with his 6-0 mark and just a 1.7 goals against average so far this season. But I'm looking for the Penguins to turn it around tonight against Boston. You know, they've won nine out of the last seven games in this series at Pittsburgh, and nine of those 11 games have gone under, including five straight here at Pittsburgh. So I think with Yari in goal tonight, these guys are going to be the goalies, Allmark and Yari. Yari 4-2 this season. Pittsburgh, of course, just with a 4-4 record, but Yari 4-2. Meanwhile, Boston, you know, their only loss did come on the road. They lost at Ottawa 7-5. Now, maybe you think this is going to be a high-scoring game because of the way these two teams scored the goals in October. You know, Boston was averaging 4.22 goals per game in the month, and Pittsburgh is averaging 3.56 goals per game. But I think this one will be a little bit tighter too. The best in this one. Pasternak, he's been on fire for Boston. Marchand has returned to the lineup, but Krejci will be out tonight of tonight's game. So I think Pittsburgh can get it done here. Like I said, back home now, big game. I don't think Pittsburgh's the type of team that's going to end up with a five-game losing streak, although this is about as tough as it comes. Boston has been a pleasant surprise, I'd say, to get off to such a great start. We knew they might be pretty good. Allmark has been the real surprise. Linus has been as secure as a little blanket, hasn't he? So that's what they're going to have to do to beat them tonight. But Crosby, when you got no goals in three games, I expect him to get on the mark tonight. And I've got the Penguins. 18 goals in those three home games. So it might be a little bit lower scoring, Tony. Hope you can hear me, man. I'm a little
Yeah.
bit frozen on the screen there. But just to add one other statistic in this, because it is a little bit of a tough sell, is how well Boston has played this year and Pittsburgh with the losing streak. And these stats are a little bit personal. I'm trying to sell you on Pittsburgh. Well, so far this season, when I've had Pittsburgh as a premium play, 2-0 in those games. When I've had Boston involved in my premium play, 4-1. So that's not talking about the teams. That's talking about Ramon Scott, Tony, with my 30-15 premium record over the last 30 days on your website. Sir, I'm 6-1 whenever I pick these teams in premium plays, and I've got a free play tonight. I've got Pittsburgh, buddy.
All right, going here with the Penguins minus 125 here against the Bruins. Yeah, it was kind of a tough road trip. It opened great here for against Columbus, but then the schedule maker really smacked Pittsburgh here. They had a back-to-back here with Edmonton and back-to-back against Calgary, but they gave them 2 days rest. Then they get pounded by Vancouver, lose to Seattle there in a back-to-back situation. So kind of a funky trip there.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's old, right? I mean, that's where if they're going to have some problems, it could come on the road this year. Not making fun of them or anything, but when you got the veterans like they do, playing a long road trip, yeah. I mean, you look at playing Vancouver and Seattle, it didn't work out too good right now. So back home at Pittsburgh, big game. They know what's up in this one, and again, just because Pittsburgh has that losing streak, this is a marquee event tonight in the NHL, and that's why we're back on the mothership, if you will. It's not the Hartford Whalers and the Boston Bruins, but just as good throwback to the old days whenever you have the games on ESPN. That's what I feel like, Tony. It was always the Hartford Whalers and somebody.
Yep, no doubt. Budgets, they got more budgets, so they can fight people all over now. So we got Penguins here, minus 125 against the Bruins. This one to start here at 8 Eastern time over on ESPN. All right, Ramon, let's go over at TonySpix.com right now. Showing great results over the last 30 days. 1,531 units of profit. That is all documented. If you go to TonySpix.com and go to Ramon's profile page, and if you go down and scroll down to the pick history, you'll be able to see all the plays that Ramon has posted there over at TonySpix.com. And these plays are graded immediately here. We pay a lot of money to someone to do that, a third-party source there who gives us the lines. They grade the games. And, of course, the grade the games are programmed with records. So you can see all the plays there. So Ramon doing fantastic work over at TonySpix.com. As you see here up on the site, wins at many of the major sports and even the minor sports. He pounds bookies. Get on board here over Ramon. And in case Ramon, we've got the two action games. We have 4 from the NBA, a lot on the ice tonight, and the World Series game. What do you have going over at Tony's Picks?
Yeah, you might see there. Even though we got 2 games in the MAC, I have a 3-game Maction pack. Well, 1 game I'm including from tomorrow. So if you pick up my Maction pack, you're going to get 2 from tonight. Both games I'm involved in tonight, and 1 tomorrow as well. So if you get my 3-pack in Maction tonight, you're going to get tomorrow's play as well. And I've put together several different packages tonight because it's such a great night with all 4 sports in action. So there's different ways you can attack it with me. I've got a 5-pack in the NHL. I got 5 plays in the NHL for a 5-pack tonight over there at Tony'sPicks.com. I got 3 plays in the NBA on that 4-game card. You heard Mindy in action there, and so am I. Like the NBA card tonight. Best bet, World Series, just $15 tonight. You always say, Tony, want to introduce them to our service? Well, no better time than the World Series. We're back in action tonight for Game 3 between Houston and Philadelphia. I mentioned on the show, Tony, I thought it was kind of interesting that, the odds, maybe some of that Mattress Mac money is still factored in there, but for Philly to wrestle the home field advantage from Houston. I'm not saying they're, favored to win. No, I'm not saying that at all. But for Houston still to be a minus $1.70 favorite, I've touted Houston maybe to win the World Series, but all of a sudden that line looks a little bit high considering they're going to have to come through on the road against a Phillies team that we know something's got to give tonight with Houston winning all the road games and Philly winning all the home games. But, man, they looked a little bit juicy all of a sudden with that price. We're having some fun for everyone when it comes to World Series betting, no matter which team you like. I think you can get pretty excited going back and forth here. So, anyways, Tony, I've sandwiched some packs together where you can get 2 Maction games and the World Series, 2 Maction games in the 5-pack from hockey, or 2 Action games and the 3-pack from the NBA. Just different ways tonight, having a little fun, making some packages, and so far so good. People seem to be interested. Maybe it's that record I'm putting together right now on Tony'sPicks.com. They've got people involved in buying my packages for today's action because a little bit of a hectic card, especially in the NHL with that 10-game slate. But I'll mention it again, Tony. 30, 15, and 1 over my last 46 results in the last 30 days over in the NHL. I want to shout out one thing. I don't know if you caught this, Tony, but if you look at the latest numbers, Daniel Walasachuk here on our site, 10-1 his last 11 NHL picks. So I want to shout out some of our other cappers that aren't able to join us on the air, but just want to mention that. That's when I saw that, I thought that was pretty impressive. But 15-1 in the NHL. My last 46 plays on the ice, and of course, number one here in the NBA as well on Tony'sPicks.com. Almost 3,000 units since the inception of the site. You see it there. 43 games over 500. That's not easy, let me tell you. And appreciate everyone getting involved with my NBA package tonight and so far this season, because we're starting to pick it up again, pick it up right where we left off last season. Already up over 500 this season in NBA units. So, going to be a fun night, Tony, especially getting the World Series back going. We Mindy and I joked on the show today. Kind of caught me by surprise. I had a hectic day yesterday, couldn't join you on the site, so the rain out kind of caught me by surprise. The weather, checking the weather wasn't in my itinerary yesterday, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we're getting into the November, late October baseball. Of course, I heard last time Phillies were in the World Series, they had a rain out that lasted 3 days, that 3 day break. So quite weird stuff
Yeah.
there. But anyway, get on board.
Game three, Tony.
Yeah, too bad. Too bad we didn't include the NBA Summer League into the NBA overall. We decided to separate the Summer League and stick with those numbers would be, but it's okay. You can see there, Ramon was hot in the summer with the Summer League, and here hot in the NBA, here with top performer in the NBA. As you see the unit results right now, these are all documented over at Tony'sPicks.com, showing positive results in NBA, NHL, NFL, NBA Summer League, MMA, college football there on the top of getting into the run here as well. So great work there. Yeah, we mentioned MMA as well. CFL, he's covered CFL. He had video series up earlier this summer. So get on board now with Ramon. And as we're talking about the plays right now over at Tony'sPicks.com, as you scroll down and check out what he's got for sales. All these individual plays. You got the packages. You got Tuesday night 3-pack, 2-sport 3-pack up there. A Tuesday night 2-sport 5-pack up there. Also the Maction plays here, 3-pack covering spanning 2 days. We got a lot on the ice tonight. This is what 7-pack with 2 sports here with football, action, and the ice put together here in a package. World Series best bet. He has this Tuesday night 5-pack up there from NHL. So a lot going on here. And instead of buying these plays individually, your best value here, as we talked about here in the month of November. Minnie made a good point here, is looking at that monthly All Sports Pass, because you get all of Ramon's plays here for the entire month here. 30-day pass will take you all the way to the end of November, but you're going to cover the remaining 4 weeks of the regular season right prior to championship week here from college football. So that will be covered there, as well as all the NFL. And, of course, all the Thanksgiving plays here, right? You got the Thanksgiving football from NFL and college football. You got Feast Week there from college basketball. We've got that. That's it. We got that big Hawaii. They're going to play again Hawaii. The Maui's back in Hawaii this year. Hawaii tournament the week after Thanksgiving, right? Actually that's the week prior to Thanksgiving. Is the Maui tournament. So the Maui tournament. I don't know if I say tournament or invitational. I forget which one it is. But anyway, you get the Maui tournament there from Ramon. Those college basketball games featuring really top opponents, top teams here that play in Hawaii up in right before Thanksgiving. It's usually a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday tournament, because they usually have the championship game on that Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So we got a lot of action there, because each team plays 3 games there. So all your college basketball, because it starts on Monday here, college basketball, all your NHL, your NFL, college football, NBA, and of course, if it gets into any action peripheral sports, World Cup, you'll get about a couple weeks of World Cup in there. I know Ramon will be in action in World Cup, you know that. So that's going to start in a couple weeks as well. So a lot of action with that 1 month All Sports Pass. We'll save you some money right now when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access our page by clicking the link in the description, clicking the All Cappers tab, and get signed up. and that'll take $66 off that 1 month all sports pass. Once again, you can access this page, Ramon's handicapper page, by clicking the link in the description, then clicking the all cappers tab, and then getting signed up and get signed up with Ramon. All right, Ramon, we also put together a Twitter account. More picks on your Twitter account we put together for you at Tony Six Ramon, and a lot more picks on that morning Steam show with you and Minnie in the mornings.
Yeah, we try to make a pick on each and every game, and sometimes I pass, but not very often. Really, you have us there for, Tony. It's kind of like making the videos in a way. We're just doing it in the show form, but also we get that interaction from the chat, and that's real fun for me because I'm producing the show and hosting with Mindy, and so the comments are coming up, and try to put everybody's play so they feel like they're involved in the show as well, whether they agree or disagree. I know for me, when I was trying to, get really into this part of handicapping with the program with you, Tony, here at Tony's Picks, and we're seeing more and more of these programs on YouTube. I was one of the commenters in a chat room, and that's kind of how I got involved in getting back with doing this. I was an old school handicapper, even a Twitter capper, that everybody makes fun of. But I mean, I go way back to the days of the 900 numbers and newsletters, and so I was like, man, this is really hot again. I'm selling my picks on Twitter, whatnot, with DMs and stuff like that. But here's a way to get involved with this, and I saw that. So, anyways, today, Tony, over on Tony's Picks Ramona on Twitter, a throwback, if you will, a little bit. But I've got a pick in the NHL tonight, so if you need one more free pick there, head on over to Tony's for Picks Ramon and pick up my free NHL winner tonight. In a game. So also, don't forget our show, The Morning Steam, Mindy and I, Saturday through Thursday, putting all the plays together, plays on almost every game. And when we have a consensus play, we put it up on tonyspicks.com and repackage it for sale. But you don't have to buy them as long as you watch the show. And we're doing pretty well, I'd say, over there with the show picks. This week, we're treading water a little bit, but we've definitely had some good hot streaks. And again, we love when the chat interacts with us and gives us their opinions as well. Sometimes I've kind of been sitting on the fence of a play. We want to give out a play, and I'm like, well, this one falls right in line. We all have that, right? Where we're not sure what we like the game or not. Someone in the chat recommends a play. Hey, I'm on with them. Why not? They're part of Team Steam. So that's kind of the fun we're having with the show. You recommended a show. I didn't know where we were going with it. And like so many things, Tony, it just evolves and takes on a life of its own, and you embrace it. And that's what we're doing with the morning steam. So every time I log on and there's Mindy, I get fired up to get the show going and get together with the chat and everything. So it's really working out, and we're having a good time.
Yeah, great work there with Ramon and Mindy. Check out the morning steam Saturday through Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. All the shows are archived immediately. Go to Tony's Picks YouTube channel. If you miss it, you'll be able to check out the replay in its entirety there. Of course, they cover the full card here. Today's NBA, NHL, and with college football, they kind of, and NFL, they kind of get ahead of the game there and get those plays up early because we got 60 FBS versus FBS games this week. So there's a lot to get in this week.
The
bias. Yeah.
We've even asked our chat, Tony, said, hey, how do you guys want us to cover college basketball? And I think Mindy and I have come up with a good solution to that because, like there are 110 games on Monday. I mean, we're going to be there for 5 hours. They might want me to freeze up with something like that. That's a lot of games, right? But so what Mindy and I have kind of decided is that, what we're going to cover, Tony, is the major television games, the ones that people are going to watch anyways. If there's a smaller card, talk about teams like Wisconsin, Green Bay, Northern Illinois, games like that on a Friday, for example, when the card is light. But on those games, we'll just go, we're ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, Fox 1, Fox 2. Those major games that everyone's going to be interested in, those are the games that are getting the most exposure on TV, and that's going to be how we start tackling the college basketball card. It'll give us a nice whittle down probably of anywhere from half a dozen to a dozen games or more every day, and it always will give us the top matchups.
That's good. Since I know you're doing that, well, I'll try not to duplicate too many of them since there's so many games. So I'll probably just try not to duplicate the games. Just for the audience out there, it's probably at this point when you have 100 plus games a night, it's probably smart if I do a different game than Ramon and Mindy do. So I know in college football and NBA we all have our opinions, but I think it's a smart way to do it. Since you guys are going to do TV, I'll look for the other matchups to put on the channel. This way, just for people that watch us, say, wait, where's Tony's pick on this one? We're doing 100 games, and we're not going to duplicate. This, you get Ramon, Mindy's, you'll get mine on whatever game they're off, and that's how we'll roll with it. So it sounds like we're playing there. So check it out, Morning Steam. We've got it here Saturday through Thursday here at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Like and subscribe, set notifications, check them out live. You get the best numbers, or watch it on the replay, or you could watch it on the podcast, right, at Tony's Picks Podcast. Every pick is in podcast form. Even the full Morning Steam show is in podcast form. We know we got a lot of you guys out there that are watching us from work on your drive home. Make it safe. All your truckers out there, we love our truckers. And we know you guys love the podcast, so check it out, Tony's Pick Podcast. The entire 1 hour plus today, Morning Steam, the full rundown from NBA, NHL, World Series, college football look-aheads are all up there right now, so check out that show. All right, Ramon, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success. We'll talk with you again tomorrow.
I always wanted my own podcast, Tony, and you made it work for Mindy and I. Thanks a lot. Awesome.
All right, thank you for providing. You got it. Ramon Scott here on Game Day Picks. Guys,